If there's one flower I get most excited about, it's the Hellebore, or as some call it, the Lenten rose. It even has another name, the Christmas rose. Friends, it's not a rose at all. It sometimes resembles one, but it's actually part of the buttercup family. So today, it's choose your own Hellebore adventure, friends. And if you're wondering what I mean by choose your own adventure, I did a video a few months back where we explored a bunch of different ways to finish the same piece of artwork. I'm going to link it below. Anywho, we're going to do an Inky Hellebore and a Washy Hellebore. Let's get into it. For the Inky Sketchy Hellebore, I'm using the Faber-Castell Pitt pen. It's a medium point. It's just a great little pen. I'm going to be wrapping up this illustration with my Julia K watercolors. If you want to see more about those, I'll link a video below. Yep, I'm sketching and I'm going right in with my pen. If you feel like you need a little bit more assistance, I guess I could say, with this one, sketch with a pencil first. I have a bunch of videos where I show you how to do just that. I'll be honest, this side view isn't the most beginner-friendly sketching subject matter, but slow it down, rewatch, you can do this. I'll give you a little tip though, a front-facing Hellebore is going to be a lot more user-friendly, so to speak, in terms of sketching, so you might want to try that view. And the bottom line, friends, it's not going to be perfect, at least not on this channel. I'm capturing an impression. I want it to look and feel like a Hellebore, but we're not after photorealism here. I love going in once I've got the basic shapes down and adding a few interesting sketchy moments like cross-hatching or stippling, following the contours of some of the shapes with additional linear details with my pen. One of my favorite things about the Pitt pens is that they don't budge underwater. So we're gonna finish this off with touches of green, light washes of watercolor, and oh yeah, this is one of my favorite techniques. I'm using a super limited palette. My Julia K palette is small. I'm using some greens, some Naples, some buff, and that's really it. A little bit of blue to make that really beautiful emerald green, and I'm keeping it really light and simple. I'm mostly using a wet on dry technique where I'm applying color or moisture to the page that's dry. If you want to know more about one of my favorite techniques in watercolor, check below. I'll link the video for you. I'm not quite done with this first one. I couldn't resist bringing out my fluorescent yellow watercolor marker to add a little bit of brightness. I'm blending that in with a clean, damp brush, and there we have it. Friends, all the supplies are always linked below, so if you're curious of exactly what I'm using, check it out. Let's head into comments. I gotta know, are you as obsessed with Hellebore as I am? Have you never heard of it before? And now you're like, oh my gosh, let's get the conversation started. And while you're at it, if you're loving this video, give it a boop. That's a like, and it really helps out my channel. You hear me say that a lot, but truly, it helps other people like you find videos like this one. So for the Washy Hellebore, I'm going to use the same colors that I used for the previous one. Very simple, just a handful of colors. If you feel like pre-mixing them on your palette, go for it. I tend to do a little bit of both, pre-mixing and then going right into the pans. Now there is a method to my madness. We started with the Inky Hellebore so that you could get a feel for the basic shapes of this particular flower. Because the sketching style, the inky style of the Hellebore, really required you to look at the petals, how they overlap, and how they intertwine with one another. So now you're heading into the more impressionistic washy version of this flower, and you've got a lot of information ready to go. So think about how you layered the petals with your inky version and apply that to your washy version. I am using my favorite 1/4 inch dagger brush, friends, but you could certainly use a round. You're going to get the same or similar results. Friends, lay those brush strokes down slowly, methodically. Think about the angle of your brush. Think about how thick, wide, or long a particular petal or leaf is. And then make your mark. Rinse your brush, add new color, and make a new mark. Be very aware that you're working quickly, so every mark that you lay down is not going to have time to dry. So if you bump it up to another one, they're going to blend together. And and that's not necessarily a bad thing. You may even want to omit or really simplify some petals, and that's okay too. Remember, you're capturing the essence of this flower. You're not taking a photograph of it. And of course, I'm bringing back that watercolor marker because it's life. Yeah, this flower's got a mood, and I'm here for it. I'll be honest, friends, this particular style of really instinctive, methodically but loosely placed brush strokes, it looks easy, but it's not. So prepare yourself. This may be something you want to try a couple times over and over, back to back, until you get a feel for it, until your hand gets comfortable, until your hand-eye coordination gets a little more comfortable. So don't be hard on yourself. All right, let's head into comments. I want to hear which version are you most excited to try and which are you most scared to try, and tell us why so we can talk you down off of your fearful ledge. Because no fear here, friends. Now you're ready and more confident, so check out this video where I show you how to paint a more realistic, multi-layered hellebore flower. And friends, you know what I'm gonna say, happy painting.